What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is part two of the lawn mailer videos that we had done about 2.5 to almost 3 months ago now. I do apologize for it taking so long to get back to making this video. I've had tons of people requesting answers to whether if it worked or not, what exactly came of those mailers that we sent out. And this video is going to be kind of a quick recap of what exactly we sent out, how many we sent out, the results of what happened with those mailers, if they even worked or not, and just a couple lessons learned from the entire process as we went through and handled what exactly happened with that. So let's jump into the video really quick. Like I said, I do apologize that it took this long. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So we'll start from the top. Just a quick overview of what exactly went on with the lawn mailers. If you guys recall, we had the two forms that were sent inside of the envelope. The first form was just a letter basically explaining how I'm a local lawn care service / company that's attempting to service your area. Just kind of a quick overview of how I like to demonstrate and show everything on social media. Invited them to check out files. Just kind of helps vet you as a company with someone who you've never even met, that you're just randomly, not cold calling, but randomly sending a piece of mail to someone who you've never met. You want to kind of leave that first impression without actually meeting them and making an actual in-person first impression. So that was the first form that we sent out in the mailers. The second was a list of the services. If you guys recall, we used Brian Fullerton's format of the update for your customers to send out. He has that form where they can select the services that they want for that year, mail it back to you so you can file it, get everything set up for that specific customer. Well, we took that form and kind of modified it because it is an editable PDF form. And we just basically made it for as if we had never met them. It was a service stated, this is what we offer. Sorry for that glare. I'm trying to keep the glare down. But it's the service thing that we offer for them to check and mail back to us in another smaller envelope that went inside all of it together, and it was already pre-labeled with the return address and a stamp on it as well. So all they had to do was drop it in there after they did the system of check boxes, drop it in, send it straight back, and we would get it, go over it, and check that out for them as well. So once we got that back from the customer, we then basically reached out to them, contacted them stating, hey, you sent us this back, these are the services you're interested in, correct? And then we would go out and provide an actual in-person estimate and be able to get them a more specific number right there on the spot. Now, to go over a couple of the numbers really fast, we sent out, I believe it was a total of 335. And one of the key things about all of that was that those 335 that went out, they went to addresses that were all within about 15 minutes away from where I'm located. That was one of my major goals, was to get customers just in this area alone. I wanted to greatly reduce the area that I was servicing for the follow and making it just so much closer to home, because I found that I was driving too much to different properties and I was just losing out on so much, passing all the places that I could potentially be servicing rather than spending too much time behind the wheel driving, if that makes any sense. Got all those taken care of, sent out the 335, and like I said in the beginning of the video, we'll go over a couple lessons really quick that we learned from doing all of that. Results of it, before we go over the lessons, we'll kind of save that for last, but the results of it, 335 sent out. We were actually reached out back to a total of about 11 people is what I wound up hearing from, was about 11 people. I only had one out of all of those actually mailed back to me. So there was only one that actually got sent back to me. I had a lot of people take a picture, actually, of the form that had all the service options available on it. They actually took a picture of it and sent it back to me, and I went and met up with them for an in-person quote. You guys know how that works a lot of times. You give somebody a quote and you never hear from them again. Well, I didn't hear back from about 8 of them. One of them actually did reach out and state, hey, at this time we're just not interested anymore, but we're keeping your number, keeping your paperwork, and keeping you on file. So we can reach back out to you if we do decide to go with you in the future. But out of all of that, I did actually wind up getting a decent sized landscaping job. It was about 3.5 yards of mulch that we installed at a customer's house. And they are also now on our weekly mowing schedule. So that was really nice. That, to me, right there alone paid for all of that just by itself. So I'm completely covered now on all of the money I spent, because if you guys remember, I did postage to mail it out, and I included pre-postage letters, or envelopes I should say, inside of the bigger envelope. And on top of the actual making all the copies of the papers, I went through a website, I believe it was DocuCopy. It was a lot cheaper getting that done through them than versus going to like Staples or something. It was, I mean, the amount of money I saved was absolutely insane. But going back to how we were reached back out by the customers, a lot of people would send a picture of that document that we sent them with the service options on it. It was pretty cool getting that back. It was a lot easier that I found out to just go through it that route, having those people reach out and do that way. The one that we did get back in the mail, the gentleman had written all over it, all kinds of stuff. His handwriting was kind of hard to read. I reached out to him because all he really left was a phone number and his name. He didn't provide me what address it came from or anything. But I reached out to him. I left a voicemail. I never heard back from him. So that was the only one that we physically got back in the mail out of those 335. But the crazy thing is I heard so many horror stories from people saying that they've tried methods similar to this. They've tried them in the past. You get like maybe a 1% return on your investment, and not necessarily even your investment, but just your time, because that took me a lot of time to do that. I spent several days putting all those little packets together, mailing them out to the people. And that brings me to the biggest lesson that I learned from the whole thing, honestly, was if you guys are going to go this route for a style of marketing for your business, do not do the return envelope. It was a complete waste of time and money. Just don't even do it, because you're probably going to find that people are going to just send you a picture, or they're just going to call you and say, hey, I got this in the mail. That's what the majority of the people that wound up reaching back out to me did, was they just said, hey, I got this in the mail. Would like you to come out, give me an estimate. They would text me their address. We go set a meeting up, everything. But that was what I found, was that it was just basically a tremendous waste of time and money, including that pre-postage envelope. If you guys are going that route, that's a big thing to think about. Don't even do that. That's just my take on that one. Don't even do it. So don't do the pre-postage envelope. That was the big thing that I learned. And the second one is try to make sure that when you're reaching back out to these people, that you have to keep in mind you may not hear back from them after you give them a price. That's with any quote, really. That's with any estimate that you go and give someone. You may never hear from them again. It happens all the time. More often than not, actually, you don't hear back from them. But it was nice of those couple people that, reached out and just said, hey, we're not interested, whatever. That was fine. I would actually rather that than never hear from them again. But going back to that, don't include that pre-postage envelope. I know I'm harping on that a lot, but it just wound up being such a waste of time and money more than anything. So that was my biggest takeaway from that. Another thing is that you want to try to kind of when you send out these mailers, you could time them for different services. Like for now, you could start thinking about, we're already almost through the end of May here. You could start thinking about marketing for fall, your fall cleanups. That would be a huge benefit from doing this. If you get your foot in the door with the fall cleanups, you may be able to get your foot in the door the following year, get them on mowing, get them on fertilizing, whatever services you offer. If you do snow, get them signed up for snow for the winter. You get your foot in the door with that, it may wind up completely blowing your initial investment out of the water. You may wind up making tons of money just specifically off of one customer, which is great. If you can upsell your services like that, it's great. That's an awesome return on investment right there alone. Got the return on investment on the envelopes. It wound up working out great. The big thing that you can also do when sending these mailers out, like you could also go on to, if you have a Facebook for your business, which you should. If you don't, you need to have a Facebook page for your business, is run a Facebook ad in those areas that you're sending the mailers out to, wherever they are. I chose to be about 15 minutes from my house. If you're going further than that, that's fine too. But you want to make sure you go into your Facebook settings and you run an ad, a targeted ad in the area where you're sending the bulk of those mailers out. That way people are constantly seeing your company, constantly seeing your logo. If you have a logo, definitely recommend getting a logo. That way they put a logo to your company. They're going to see it. They're going to remember it and say, where did I see that? Oh, I got it in the mail, and now I'm seeing it on Facebook. Maybe I should reach out to them and give them a call, see what they can offer me. That is a huge thing right there that you may wind up finding great benefit from. And Facebook ads are not expensive to run. They are very cheap. You can spend $1.20, I think it is, a day and reach a couple hundred people per day. And you can run that for 5 days or more, a lot more. But if you run that for like 5 days, wait a couple days after you send those mailers out, then run that for like 5 days. Your exposure that you're getting right there alone is huge. You're making your reach so far and so seen that you may not even have to do any other kind of marketing for the year. So I've already kind of talked too much. I just wanted to get on here and make this video really quick to give you guys some kind of results. I've had tons of people ask me, and I just really haven't felt like making any YouTube videos here recently, just because I've been super swamped. The mailers wound up working good, but I wound up getting tons of phone calls from Facebook ads, friends of friends, all kinds of stuff like that. And it's just been an absolutely awesome and busy season here so far. But I have some time tonight. I'm making this video really quick and putting it here on the YouTube channel. It's going to upload obviously probably a day or so from now. But just wanted to get on here, get you guys those results, get you guys those hard numbers. This is not any kind of guarantee to success. I've heard from a lot of people that just flat out told me that it wasn't going to work. It did for the most part work. I'm more than happy with the results that we wound up getting, because I really, going into it, was really unsure and kind of hesitant. Did I just completely waste my time and all that money doing this? Well, it wound up working out great, landing that weekly customer and that big landscaping job, 3.5 yards of mulch or whatever I said it was. It wound up working out great. I didn't wind up losing any money on it, and I got my foot in the door with tons of other people who saw that flyer, saw the service list. Maybe they did go and check out my social media. I don't know. Maybe they're watching this video right now. I'm not 100% sure. I don't really have any way of knowing. But like I said, it's not any kind of guarantee to success. That's not what this video is for. And I said that a lot in the first video. And I'll go ahead and include that first video here at the end of this one if you guys want to go back and check that out as well. I hope you guys have been doing great. I hope you guys have been having a good 2021 season. It's going to be a really good year. It's already starting out pretty good. It's very dry here, though. We have not had much rain the last 3 weeks. My yard actually has some pretty ugly heat stress spots in it. The ground is just crunchy. It's bad. Had to skip a couple yards the last couple days. But it's supposed to storm the next 2 or 3 days, so hopefully we get some good rain and the grass starts greening up again. But I've already talked too much. If you guys have made it this far, I really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Drop me a comment. Let me know if maybe you guys tried something like this and what your results were. Definitely let me know. I'd love to chat about it. You can find me over on Instagram or on here. Just let me know. I appreciate it. Take care. Y'all have a good one.